The house was quiet. Too quiet. Marcus Vance stood in the doorway of his home on the human colony of New Horizon. The lights were off. The air was still. Something was wrong. He had been gone for 3 months. A diplomatic mission to the Veth homeworld. Long days of negotiations. Long nights of loneliness. He had looked forward to coming home. To seeing Elena. To holding her. To sleeping in his own bed. Now he stood in the dark. The house was empty. Her clothes were gone. Her shoes were gone. Her books were gone. Everything was gone. On the table, a holographic message waited. Marcus pressed play. Elena's face appeared. She was beautiful. Her brown hair. Her kind eyes. Her small smile. He had loved her for 10 years. He had married her for better or worse. He had never imagined worse. Marcus, Elena said. Her voice was soft. Apologetic. But not sorry. I am sorry to do this. I know you will be hurt. But I have found something greater. Something more than a human life. More than a human marriage. More than a human world. Marcus's hands clenched. His jaw tightened. He did not speak. He just listened. Prince Vaughn of the Creole Empire has offered me a place at his side. He sees my worth. He values my mind. He promises me a life of purpose and power. I know you will not understand. But I hope one day you will forgive me. The message ended. Elena's face faded. The room was dark again. Marcus stood in the silence. He did not cry. He did not scream. He just stood. The man he had been was gone. The love he had felt was ash. Something else was growing in its place. Something cold. Something hard. Something human. The news spread fast. The human government heard about the betrayal within hours. The Creole prince had not just stolen a human woman. He had humiliated humanity. He had sent a message. Human lives are small. Human love is weak. Human pride is nothing. The council demanded action. Admiral Chen, the head of human military, called a meeting. Marcus was summoned. He walked into the briefing room. His face was still. His eyes were cold. He had not slept. He had not eaten. He had not spoken to anyone. Admiral Chen looked at him. She was old. Her hair was gray. Her eyes were sharp. She had seen too much war. Too much loss. Too much pain. Captain Vance, Admiral Chen said. We understand you are going through a difficult time. But this is bigger than you. The Creole prince has insulted all of humanity. We cannot let this stand. Marcus nodded. He did not speak. We are considering a military response, Admiral Chen continued. A show of force. A demonstration. We want to send a message that humans are not to be disrespected. But before we act, we want to know your position. You are the wronged party. You have a right to speak. Marcus looked at the screen behind her. It showed the Creole Empire. Vast. Powerful. Ancient. Prince Vaughn's face was in the corner. Young. Arrogant. Smiling. What do you want? Admiral Chen asked. Do you want revenge? Do you want justice? Do you want the prince to suffer? Do you want your wife back? Marcus was silent for a long time. The room was still. The officers waited. Then Marcus spoke. His voice was quiet, but everyone heard him. I want the empire. Admiral Chen's eyes widened. The officers shifted in their seats. No one had expected this. Explain, Admiral Chen said. Marcus walked to the screen. He pointed at the Creole Empire. The hundreds of worlds. The thousands of ships. The millions of soldiers. The Creole have ruled this part of the galaxy for 1,000 years, Marcus said. They have conquered species. Destroyed civilizations. Enslaved millions. They have never been challenged. They have never been defeated. They think they are invincible. He turned to face the officers. Prince Vaughn took my wife because he thought he could. He thought humans were weak. He thought we would do nothing. He thought we would accept the insult and move on. Marcus's eyes were cold. His voice was hard. He was wrong. I do not want revenge. Revenge is personal. Revenge is small. I do not want justice. Justice is for courts and lawyers. I want the empire. I want to show the galaxy that when you humiliate humanity, you do not just lose a battle. You lose everything. Admiral Chen was silent. She looked at Marcus. She saw a man who had lost everything. She saw a man who had nothing left to lose. She saw a weapon. This is not a small request, Admiral Chen said. The Creole Empire is vast. Powerful. Ancient. You are asking for a war that could last decades. A war that could cost millions of lives. Marcus nodded. I know. But the cost of doing nothing is higher. If we let this insult stand, every species in the galaxy will think humans are weak. They will test us. They will attack us. They will take from us. This war is not just about my wife. It is about humanity's place in the galaxy. Admiral Chen looked at the other officers. They nodded. One by one. Then we go to war, Admiral Chen said. Not for revenge. Not for justice. For the Empire. Marcus saluted. He walked out of the room. The officers watched him go. They did not know if he was a hero or a fool. They did not know if he would win or lose. They only knew one thing. Marcus Vance was done being a diplomat. He was done being a husband. He was done being weak. He was going to war. And he was going to win. The war room was silent. Admiral Chen and her generals sat around a long table. Maps of the Creel Empire glowed on the screens. Hundreds of worlds. Thousands of ships. Millions of soldiers. The humans had never fought a war this big. They had never fought an enemy this strong. Marcus Vance stood at the head of the table. He was not a soldier. He had never commanded a ship. He had never fired a weapon. He was a diplomat. He had spent 20 years talking to aliens, learning their cultures, their politics, their weaknesses. You want us to attack the Creel Empire with a diplomat in charge? General Rios asked. His voice was sharp. His eyes were skeptical. No offense, Vance, but you have no military experience. This is not a negotiation. This is war. Marcus looked at him. His face was calm. His eyes were cold. You are right, Marcus said. I am not a soldier, but I know the Creel. I have spent 20 years studying them. I know their economy, their politics, their allies, their enemies. I know where they are strong, and I know where they are weak. General Rios leaned back in his chair. Then tell us, how do we defeat an empire that has ruled the galaxy for 1,000 years? Marcus walked to the screen. He pointed at the Creel homeworld. Not with ships, not with bombs, with economics and politics. The Creel Empire is vast, but it is not stable. They have conquered dozens of species. Those species hate them. They are waiting for someone to help them rebel. He pointed at a trade route. The Creel depend on trade with the Veth. Without Veth medicine, their colonies will starve. Without Veth technology, their ships will fail. He pointed at an alliance. The Creel have a treaty with the Xylosians. But the Xylosians are not loyal. They are practical. If we offer them a better deal, they will abandon the Creel. He turned to face the generals. We do not need to destroy the Creel fleet. We need to destroy their economy. Cut off their trade routes. Turn their allies against them. Starve their empire from the inside. The Creel will fall without us firing a single shot. The room was silent. The generals looked at each other. Admiral Chen leaned forward. That is a bold plan, Admiral Chen said. But it will take time. Years, maybe. And it requires patience. Can you do it? Marcus looked at her. He thought about Elena. Her smile. Her voice. Her betrayal. He thought about Prince Vaughn. His arrogance. His smug face. His stolen prize. I have nothing but time, Marcus said. And I have a personal reason to win. Admiral Chen nodded. Then you are in command. I am giving you a small task force. A handful of ships. A handful of soldiers. Your mission, dismantle the Creel Empire. Piece by piece. Marcus saluted. He walked out of the room. The generals watched him go. They did not know if he would succeed. But they knew one thing. He would not stop. The task force was small. 3 ships. The Asterisk Last Dawn Asterisk, a reconnaissance vessel. The Asterisk Shadowhunter Asterisk, a stealth frigate. The Asterisk Iron Will Asterisk, a supply ship. 200 soldiers. 50 officers. 1 diplomat. Marcus stood on the bridge of the Asterisk Last Dawn Star. His crew watched him. They were skeptical. A diplomat in command. A man who had never fought a battle. They did not trust him. But they followed orders. Set a course for the Veth homeworld, Marcus said. We have a negotiation to make. The first stop was the Veth. The Veth were neutral. They traded with everyone. They fought with no one. Marcus needed them to stop trading with the Creel. The Veth ambassador was an old woman named Elder Quiet Wave. She received Marcus in her office. Her large dark eyes were curious. Her pale gray face was still. Captain Vance, Elder Quiet Wave said. You are a long way from home. What brings you to our world? Marcus sat across from her. He did not waste time. I want you to stop trading with the Creel Empire, Marcus said. Elder Quiet Wave tilted her head. That is a bold request. The Creel are our largest trading partner. We sell them medicine, technology, food. Without us, their colonies would starve. Marcus nodded. I know. That is why I am asking. And why would we do that? Elder Quiet Wave asked. What do you offer in return? Marcus leaned forward. Protection. The Creel Empire is going to fall. Not today. Not tomorrow. But soon. When it falls, the species that helped them will be punished. The species that helped us will be rewarded. Choose wisely. Elder Quiet Wave was silent for a long time. She looked at Marcus. She saw a man who had lost everything. She saw a man who had nothing left to lose. She saw a man who would not stop. The Creel have ruled for 1,000 years, Elder Quiet Wave said. You are asking me to bet against them. Marcus stood up. I am asking you to bet on humanity. We are new. We are young. But we are fast. We are fierce. We do not forget. We do not forgive. The Creel took something from me. I am going to take everything from them. You can be on the winning side. Or you can be on the losing side. The choice is yours. He walked out of the office. He did not look back. 3 days later, the Veth agreed. They would stop trading with the Creel. Not because they loved humanity. Because they feared what Marcus would do if they refused. The next stop was the Xylosians. The Xylosians were ancient, powerful, arrogant. They had an alliance with the Creel. Marcus needed to break it. He met with Counselor Deep Thought. The old Xylosian was cold, calculating, suspicious. You want us to abandon our oldest ally? Deep Thought asked. For what? For a species that has been in space for only 200 years. Marcus looked at him. His eyes were calm. His voice was steady. The Creel are dying, Marcus said. Their economy is collapsing. Their colonies are starving. Their allies are leaving. In 5 years, the Creel Empire will not exist. You can fall with them. Or you can rise with us. Deep Thought was silent. He looked at Marcus. He saw something he had not expected. Certainty. You are very sure of yourself, Deep Thought said. Marcus smiled. It was not a happy smile. I have nothing left to lose. That makes me very dangerous. The Xylosians abandoned the Creel. The Creel Empire was alone. Marcus returned to the * Last Dawn Star. His crew looked at him differently now. He had done the impossible. He had turned the galaxy against the Creel without firing a single shot. Where to now? His second-in-command asked. Marcus looked at the screen. The Creel homeworld glowed in the distance. Now, Marcus said, we fund the rebellions. Every species the Creel ever conquered. Every world they ever burned. Every people they ever enslaved. We give them weapons. We give them money. We give them hope. And we watch the empire burn. The * Last Dawn * flew into the dark. The war had begun. Not a war of ships and bombs. A war of economics and politics. A war Marcus intended to win. 2 years passed. 2 years of negotiations. 2 years of threats. 2 years of promises. Marcus Vance did not fire a single shot. He did not launch a single missile. He did not destroy a single ship. But the Creel Empire was dying. The Veth had stopped trading. No medicine. No technology. No food. The Creel colonies starved. Their ships broke down. Their soldiers grew sick. The Xylosians had withdrawn their support. No alliances. No protection. No backup. The Creel were alone. The rebellions had begun. Species the Creel had conquered 100 years ago rose up. They had been waiting, hoping, dreaming of freedom. Marcus gave them weapons, gave them money, gave them hope. The rebellion spread like fire. The Creel generals turned on each other. Some wanted to fight. Some wanted to surrender. Some wanted to flee. Marcus had planted whispers, rumors, doubts. The generals no longer trusted each other. The empire was crumbling from the inside. Prince Vaughn watched from his palace on the Creel homeworld. He was young, arrogant, angry. He had stolen a human woman. He had humiliated humanity. He had thought the humans would do nothing. He had been wrong. Send a message to Marcus Vance, Vaughn said to his advisor. I want to speak to him. The advisor hesitated. My prince, is that wise? He is our enemy. Vaughn slammed his fist on the table. I know who he is. Send the message. The message reached Marcus on the bridge of the * Last Dawn Star. He was tired. His hair had turned gray. His face was lined. His eyes were still cold. He had not slept well in 2 years. He dreamed of Elena, of her smile, her voice, her betrayal. He played the message. Vaughn's face appeared on the screen. Young, arrogant, angry. Marcus Vance, Vaughn said. You have done much damage. But you cannot destroy us. The Creel Empire has stood for 1,000 years. We are too strong, too powerful, too ancient. You are one man, one human. You cannot win. Marcus looked at the screen. His face was calm. His voice was quiet. I am not trying to destroy you, Prince Vaughn. You are destroying yourselves. I am just giving you the rope. Vaughn's face twisted. Rope? What rope? Marcus leaned closer to the camera. The rope to hang yourselves. Your empire was already weak. Already crumbling. Already hated. I just showed your enemies where to push. Your colonies are starving because the Veth stopped trading. Your allies abandoned you because the Xylosians saw which way the wind was blowing. Your generals are fighting each other because you never gave them a reason to be loyal. He paused. His eyes were cold. You did this to yourself, Prince Vaughn. You stole my wife because you thought humans were weak. You thought we would do nothing. You thought you could take what was ours and we would just accept it. You were wrong. And now your empire is paying the price. Vaughn was silent. His face was pale. His hands were shaking. You cannot blame me for your empire's collapse, Marcus continued. You were already hated. Already feared. Already doomed. I just sped up the process. I just showed the galaxy that the Creel are not invincible. That they can be hurt. That they can be beaten. Vaughn's voice was low. What do you want? Do you want your wife back? Do you want an apology? Do you want me to beg? Marcus shook his head. I do not want Elena back. She made her choice. I do not want an apology. Words are cheap. I do not want you to beg. Begging is for the weak. Then what do you want? Vaughn shouted. Marcus looked at the screen. His face was still. His voice was quiet. I want the Empire. I want every world you ever conquered to be free. I want every species you ever enslaved to be avenged. I want the Creel Empire to be a memory. A warning. A lesson. That is what I want. The message ended. Vaughn sat in his palace. His hands were shaking. His heart was pounding. He had thought he was invincible. He had thought the humans were weak. He had been wrong. On the last dawn Marcus turned to his crew. They were tired. They had been working for 2 years. They had not seen their families, their homes, their lives. But they believed in him. They believed in the mission. Where to now? His second-in-command asked. Marcus looked at the screen. The Creel homeworld glowed in the distance. But that was not his target. His target was smaller, more personal. We are going to find Prince Vaughn, Marcus said. Not to kill him, to capture him. He is going to watch his empire fall. He is going to watch his people suffer. He is going to watch everything he loves turn to ash. And then, when he has nothing left, we are going to put him on trial. In front of the galaxy. So everyone can see what happens when you humiliate humanity. The crew nodded. The last dawn flew into the dark. The hunt was almost over. The Creel Empire collapsed 3 months later. The rebellion succeeded. The colonies fell. The generals surrendered. Prince Vaughn was captured by his own people. They handed him over to the humans. They wanted to save themselves. Marcus stood on the bridge of the last dawn star. He looked at the screen. Prince Vaughn sat in a cell. His arrogance was gone. His anger was gone. He was just a broken man. A fallen prince. A cautionary tale. Marcus did not feel victorious. He did not feel happy. He felt empty. The empire was gone. The prince was captured. The war was over. But Elena was still gone. His heart was still broken. The emptiness was still there. He turned to his crew. Set a course for Earth, he said. We are going home. The last dawn turned toward home. The stars were bright. The galaxy was quiet. Marcus Vance had done what no one thought possible. He had destroyed an empire. Not with ships. Not with bombs. With economics. With politics. With rope. He had given the Creel enough rope to hang themselves. And they had taken it. The cell was small. White walls. White floor. White light. No windows. No furniture. Just a chair and a table. Prince Vaughn sat in the chair. His hands were cuffed. His claws were dull. His armor was gone. He wore simple gray clothes. His face was still arrogant. But his eyes were tired. Marcus Vance stood across from him. He had waited 2 years for this moment. 2 years of negotiations. 2 years of threats. 2 years of watching the Creel Empire burn. Now the prince was in front of him. Captured. Broken. Alone. Prince Vaughn, Marcus said. His voice was calm. Welcome to human space. Vaughn looked at him. His lip curled. You think you have won. You have destroyed my empire. But you have not destroyed me. I am still a prince. Still a leader. Still a Creel. Marcus sat down across from him. He did not speak. He just waited. Vaughn shifted in his chair. Your wife chose me, he sneered. She left you. A human farmer. A weak, soft, pathetic human. She preferred an alien prince. She preferred power. Status. Glory. She chose me over you. Marcus did not react. His face was still. His eyes were calm. You must be very angry, Vaughn continued. You must want revenge. You must want to hurt me. To kill me. To make me suffer. That is what humans do, is it not? They seek revenge. Marcus leaned forward. His voice was quiet. You are right, Marcus said. She chose you. She left me for a prince. For power. For status. For glory. She thought you were better than me. She thought you were stronger. She thought you were invincible. Vaughn smiled. A thin, cruel smile. She was right. Marcus shook his head. She was wrong. You are not better than me. You are not stronger. You are not invincible. You are sitting in a human cell, wearing human clothes, waiting for a human to decide your fate. Where is your empire now? Where is your throne? Where is your freedom? Vaughn's smile faded. His eyes flickered. You lost everything because of her, Marcus said. Your empire. Your throne. Your freedom. Your people. They handed you over to us. They traded you to save themselves. You are nothing to them. You were always nothing. You just did not know it. Vaughn's hands clenched. The cuffs rattled. Your wife, Marcus continued. Elena. Where is she now? Did she stay with you? Did she fight for you? Did she beg to share your cell? Vaughn was silent. His face was pale. She left you, Marcus said. Did she not? When the empire started to crumble, she left. She went back to human space. She is probably looking for a new husband. A new protector. A new fool to use. Vaughn's voice was low. You do not know that. Marcus leaned back. I know Elena. I was married to her for 10 years. She is loyal to one person. Herself. She left me when she found someone better. She left you when you became worse. That is who she is. That is who she has always been. Vaughn was silent. His arrogance was gone. His anger was gone. He just looked tired. Tell me, Prince Vaughn, Marcus said. Was she worth it? Was she worth your empire? Your throne? Your freedom? Your people? Was one human woman worth everything you had? Vaughn opened his mouth. Closed it. He had no answer. Marcus stood up. He looked down at the broken prince. The fallen ruler. The arrogant fool. I do not need to kill you, Marcus said. I do not need to hurt you. I do not need to make you suffer. You are already suffering. You are already broken. You are already nothing. He walked to the door. He stopped. He did not turn around. The galaxy will watch your trial, Marcus said. They will see what happens when you humiliate humanity. They will see that we do not forget. We do not forgive. We do not lose. We win. And we win big. He walked out of the cell. The door closed behind him. Vaughn sat alone in the white room. His hands were shaking. His eyes were wet. He had lost everything. And for what? For a woman who left him. For a woman who never loved him. For a woman who used him. Marcus walked down the corridor. His boots echoed on the metal floor. His face was still. His eyes were calm. But inside, something was churning. He had waited 2 years for this moment. He had imagined it 1,000 times. He had thought he would feel victorious. Happy. Satisfied. He felt none of those things. He felt empty. The empire was gone. The prince was captured. The war was over. But Elena was still gone. His heart was still broken. The emptiness was still there. His second-in-command, a young woman named Lynn, met him at the end of the corridor. How did it go? Lynn asked. Marcus looked at her. Her eyes were curious. Her face was hopeful. She wanted to hear that he had won. That he had triumphed. That he had made the prince suffer. He has nothing, Marcus said. No empire. No throne. No freedom. No wife. He has nothing. That is worse than death. Lynn nodded. Is that what you wanted? Marcus was silent for a moment. He thought about Elena. Her smile. Her voice. Her betrayal. He thought about the last 2 years. The negotiations. The threats. The war. I wanted the Empire, Marcus said. I got it. But the Empire was not the point. The point was to show the galaxy that humans are not weak. That we do not forgive. That we do not forget. That we do not lose. Lynn tilted her head. And did you show them? Marcus looked out the window. The stars were bright. The galaxy was vast. Somewhere out there, the Creel Empire was gone. A memory. A warning. A lesson. Yes, Marcus said. We showed them. He walked to his quarters. He sat on his bed. He looked at his hands. They were empty. He had won the war. He had destroyed the Empire. He had captured the prince. But he was still alone. He thought about Elena. He wondered where she was. What she was doing. Who she was with. He wondered if she thought about him. If she regretted leaving. If she missed him. He did not know. He did not care. He was done with her. Done with the past. Done with the pain. He lay down on the bed. He closed his eyes. He slept. For the first time in 2 years, he slept without dreaming. The next morning, he woke up. The sun was shining. The birds were singing. The war was over. He was alive. He got out of bed. He put on his uniform. He walked to the bridge. His crew was waiting. They looked at him with respect, with admiration, with hope. Captain, Lynn said, what are your orders? Marcus looked at the screen. The stars were bright. The galaxy was open. Set a course for home, Marcus said. We are done here. The last dawn turned toward Earth. The stars watched. The galaxy remembered. Marcus Vance had destroyed an empire. He had captured a prince. He had won a war. But he was still looking for something. Something he had lost a long time ago. Something he was not sure he would ever find. Peace. The war was over. The Creel Empire was gone. Prince Vaughn sat in a human prison, waiting for a trial that would shame his species for generations. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Humans were not weak. Humans did not forgive. Humans did not forget. Marcus Vance stood on the bridge of the last dawn. The ship was docked at a human space station. His crew had gone home. His mission was complete. He was alone. Then he received a message. A visitor. Elena. He had not seen her in 2 years. He had not spoken to her since the holographic message. He had tried to forget her. He had tried to hate her. He had tried to move on. But she was still there. In his memory. In his dreams. In his heart. He agreed to meet her. In a small room on the station. Neutral ground. No guards. No weapons. Just 2 people who had once loved each other. Elena arrived first. She was older. Thinner. Her eyes were tired. Her hands were shaking. She wore simple clothes. No jewelry. No makeup. She looked like a ghost of the woman he had married. Marcus walked into the room. He stopped at the door. He looked at her. His face was still. His eyes were cold. Marcus, Elena said. Her voice was soft. Begging. Thank you for coming. Marcus did not sit. He stood by the door. His arms were crossed. His jaw was tight. What do you want, Elena? Elena took a step toward him. He did not move. She stopped. I want to apologize, Elena said. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. The prince lied to me. He promised me power. Status. Glory. He promised me a life I could never have with you. I was stupid. I was selfish. I was blind. Marcus said nothing. I am sorry, Elena continued. I am so sorry. I know I hurt you. I know I betrayed you. I know I destroyed us. But I still love you. I never stopped loving you. Please, Marcus. Please forgive me. Marcus looked at her. His face was tired. His eyes were sad. I loved you once, Marcus said. I loved you with everything I had. I would have died for you. I would have killed for you. I would have given you the stars. Elena's eyes filled with tears. I know. And I threw it away. I threw it away for a lie. Marcus shook his head. That man is gone. The man who loved you died the day you left. You killed him when you chose the prince. When you chose power over love. When you chose a stranger over your husband. Elena reached out her hand. Marcus, please. Marcus stepped back. He did not take her hand. I am someone else now, Marcus said. Someone who does not forgive betrayal. Someone who does not forget. Someone who does not look back. He turned to the door. He put his hand on the handle. Goodbye, Elena. He walked out. He did not look back. The door closed behind him. Elena sank to her knees. She cried. He did not hear her. Marcus walked to the bridge of the last dawn. His second-in-command, Lynn, was waiting for him. She looked at his face. She did not ask what happened. She did not need to. Captain, Lynn said. Where to? Marcus looked out the window. The stars were bright. The galaxy was vast. Take us out, Marcus said. Anywhere. Nowhere. I do not care. The last dawn lifted off. The station grew small. The stars grew bright. Marcus stood at the window. His hands were behind his back. His face was still. Lynn stood beside him. She was young, curious, brave. She had followed him through 2 years of war. She had believed in him when no one else did. Captain, Lynn said. May I ask you something? Marcus nodded. You may. Was it worth it? Lynn asked. The war. The Empire. The 2 years of fighting. All of it for a woman who left you. Marcus was silent for a long time. The stars passed by. The ship hummed. Lynn waited. Then Marcus spoke. His voice was quiet, but it was steady. It was never about her, Marcus said. It was about what she represented. That an alien prince could take what was ours and we would do nothing. That humans were weak. That humans were prey. That humans would accept any insult, any betrayal, any humiliation. He turned to look at Lynn. His eyes were not sad. They were not angry. They were calm. We showed the galaxy that we are not weak. We are not prey. We do not accept insults. We do not forgive betrayal. We are humans. And we do not forget. Lynn nodded. She understood. Where are we going now? Lynn asked. Marcus looked back at the stars. Home. Not to a person. To a place. To a people. To a future. The last dawn flew into the stars. Marcus did not look back. He did not think about Elena. He did not think about the prince. He did not think about the war. He thought about the future. About the galaxy. About humanity. About what came next. The war was over. But the work was not. There were always new enemies. New challenges. New battles. Marcus would be ready. He would always be ready. He had lost his wife. He had lost his home. He had lost his past. But he had found something else. Something harder. Something stronger. He had found himself. The stars shone. The ship flew. Marcus Vance stood at the window. He was not happy. He was not sad. He was at peace. The galaxy would remember what he had done. The Creel Empire was gone. Prince Vaughn was in chains. Humanity had proven itself. Marcus did not need forgiveness. He did not need love. He did not need revenge. He just needed the stars. And the stars were infinite.